gentlemen, welcome to this night video and connection. Thank you that you are participating today in this very specific video, and that will be really interesting. First of all, I will share some really nice insights of how the vessels are discharging and what things affect the overall discharging time. Before we start that, I would like to remind you this interesting book about the crude oil washing. It has everything that it's required. The industry, and mostly it is highly designed for individuals that are willing to improve and has led affected by any kind of, let's say, unexpected situations. But anyway, the oil industry, it is well positioned. As we know, they have millions and billions of insurance, so basically they do not care by throwing money, and you can also do not buy this book at all, and you can still continue throwing money to the air. That is really good, really. Yes, I have seen it everywhere across the shipping industry. Owners are burning money like this. They're burning the money in the incinerator. Millions, billions. They have so many amount of money so they can burn them each and every day. Okay. So that's it. In today's topic, we will share something very incredible. Why some vessels are discharging, let's say, within the time frame, some others are not, and some others take much longer time. Everything has to do with the product that has been discharged. And also it depends from the complexity of the discharging operation. Let's say, for example, if we have 3 grades, we need more time. If we have 1 grade, we need less time, for sure. The sequence is different, okay? And also you do not care about the contamination and all the things. When you have, let's say, a 3 grades vessel loaded, that means that you're going in the A location, which will be necessary to discharge to multiple tanks. The more over the tanks that you need to discharge, the more time it takes physically to change over, stoppages, starting, and that's why also the time of discharging operation increases. Moreover, the more tanks that you are discharging in, it will increase small errors, which in overall condition they add up in a total overall loss. But is it loss real, or is it just a imaginable one? In today's video, yes, we will not analyze that. We can analyze that also too, but there is a lot of parameters that plays this role. So if we are focusing today of the vessel discharging time and the vessel performance on the specific time frame, maybe it is something important, but maybe not. Maybe we do not care at all because we have been paid. But for some parties, for sure, the time of discharging, it plays huge role, because the more time it takes to discharge a vessel, that means you will have to spend huge amount of money, okay? Because in the shipping, yes, time is equals money. This is how it works. Discharge fast, going to the next contract, find the next contract, and do the next job. But because of not knowing what is being expected, how the vessel will discharge, in which tank it will be discharged, this creates huge delays. In the ideal world, all the sequence and all the operation should be discussed in advance before the vessel arrival. So everyone knows exactly what to expect. Most of the times, yes, there is a plan or there is something, but everything will be learned in the last moment. So the more information the vessel has about the terminal, and the more information the terminal has about the vessel, the much better they will cooperate together in order to achieve the highest standards of performance, both from the safety and also from the operational excellence. One of the important things, yes, it is the grades, how many grades, the complexity. Does the vessel needs dewatering? The dewatering is the removal of water from the crude oil tanks. So as we have imagined the crude oil tanks, on the bottom, through the time, the water will be settled, and this is called free water. It is exactly as the water we see in the glass, okay? Nothing different, exactly similar. Maybe to have a small contaminants from, let's say, the oil. It can be an emulsion. An emulsion can be also water in oil or oil in water, so it can be a different kind of mixture. So this water, it needs to be the water on a barge, or in some locations, which are more sophisticated, they can do and create some of the watering tanks. So the vessel are debottoming there. Everything is measured, the quantity that of the water received there, and then this water needs to be processed. This water, yes, needs to be processed, depends on the standards that each country has in place. Let's say, for example, I will take a country, maybe in Germany, let's say, it will have different requirements. In Greece, it will have different requirements. Let's say, yes, throw it at sea, no problem, everything will be fine. And in Germany, yes, maybe, not maybe, for sure you will go for prison if you do such a thing. So that's why probably, yes, they will have a much better system and much better filtering system there. Be careful, let's say, for the environment aspects and all the things. Because, yes, they start to realize that the environment is really important after they destroy it completely. And yes, that is it. That is it, how the complexity of the operation can be. It can be also water in the crude, it can be a viscous product, it can be also yes, really viscous. So the pumps require more energy and more back pressure will be built up through the pumps. So that's why you are pumping the crude. You have your boilers, let's say 100%. You see the back pressure is huge, but the pumps are not able to push that thing, okay? They're pushing, but there's limitations. And these limitations create the liquid itself. There is some grades that are so much heavy, they are more heavy than the heavy fuel oil. And this is the crude, yes, basically, that can be, you can meet it, metal platter. Excuse me. Metal platter, yes. Excuse me. Some of the crudes, yes, which is really heavy. And that crude needs specific treatment in order to increase their flowability. One of the treatment that you can do, it is simply heating the crude on a temperature which will be pumpable. This also prevents damage of the pumps itself. It is create a much less consumption of the boilers as well. But in order to start heating, you need instructions from the charters, okay, from the company that has a cargo itself. You cannot hitting the cargo from your mind, okay, just because you want it. You have to have clear instructions. And most of the time that I have seen, there is no clear instructions on that. So basically, the vessel arrives in the port. There is no communication, how they will discharge, where they will discharge. And this is one of the major problem in our decade. Because, why? Because simply nobody cares. The vessel is there, the vessel is moored, nobody's connecting anything. I don't know. Is it happening to your location or not? Maybe yes, maybe not. It depends, yes. It depends the location for sure. It depends the location, and I really came to my mind one of the locations that I have worked with, MOT, Maslakle terminal. That was a really great terminal. Okay, these guys are fantastic. Yes, I cannot say anything against them. Okay, they are such a good environment, such cooperative environment, and really I learned a lot from these guys. And they are really professionals. If you're going to MOT terminal, Maslakte terminal, it is exactly on the Hook of Holland, on in the Rotterdam for sure. You will able to visit this terminal. It is really fantastic and sophisticated terminal. Really, I take my hat off, and these guys, yes, are really great. So I have learned a lot from them. Also working there, safety wise, also the way how they work and see things. But also, what I separate from them, it is the passion to learn, the passion um, to hear things and discuss also uh, things that are related with the crude. And that is really shows the interest from people that are really involved and really willing to learn and improve themselves. That is really fantastic. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity. You know, as I was sailing on board the tankers, through my mind was sometimes passing how it is the terminal, to see a little bit, yes, how the terminal is structured, and a little bit also from the refinery. And I don't know, when I apply for that role in the oil major company, I didn't know that I will work something that would be related to that. I didn't know that, okay, but actually this experience also came. And the interesting thing is that when you know the vessel part and when you know the terminal part as well, that makes that really incredible. So you basically understand more things, you're able to support in more things, realize different things, and basically this give me the opportunity to create the most sophisticated and the most optimized project in the entire industry around the globe. So there is not something similar, there is not something available in the entire world. And here is the proof. I'm a real proof. I have verified the things many times that nobody really cares if the vessel discharge or not discharge. Okay, and how much it will be delayed. Because in order to care, you have to know the things from the inside. How the things are working on the vessel, how the things are working in the terminal, and combine that knowledge in order to have a brilliant cooperation with both sections through the operational discharge. So this is the parameters. Yes, the viscosity plays huge role. It depends also how the lines will be aligned through the short tank. It depends the diameter of the piping. So there is a lot of different parameters that are able to play a role. Also, in some cases, if the parcel is really small, the ELS discharge flow needs to be discharged, because if the parcel is small and the discharge is very fast, then the sampling system, it depends also, yes, from the sampling system as well, from the equipment, are not able to grab the proper amount of the grabs, and then you are not able to analyze properly the crude. Also, you will not have the best performance factor from the ELS equipment, the auto inline sampler equipment, which also have made specifically a specific video about the ELS here on the channel, which is accessible, as I remember, through the membership. So there's a lot of parameters. There is the setup of the lines, there's setup of the tanks, there's also how the vessel will finish in which tanks. So in all the things that you have seen, there is a specific person which called the refinery planner, and he will set up in which tanks the vessel needs to be discharged. Okay, so he needs that specific crude for that specific tank, mixing with another crude, and yes, mixing different, let's say 5, 7 grades, 10 grades, 12 grades, depends, yes, what mixture they would like to produce, and that's why it also can increase the delays. For sure, the cost, yes, it will be for the refinery or another party, depends, but basically um, the overall cost, yes, it is increasing by the time, if the time is exceeded, and the demurrage rates increasing, then yes, it costs much more, but it depends. You have to balance the costs. Okay, if you have a refinery, let's say, which is going to switch off, or it's stalled from the crude, or a vessel, let's say, which is waiting and preparing, let's say, some things. So you have to balance both things. For sure, you will look to save the refinery. And as I told, yes, communication is very important. It's very important also from the operations, from the terminal, to have aware of the entire supply chain that they are working with, because if the focus is only in one location, this is it, the game is over. Okay, you have to look a little bit further. Okay, what is going on in the supply chain, and how any decisions that you are making here or not making, this will affect the next stage. So you can see how much things are affecting the discharge operation, and that's why each and every discharge operation can be completely different. Maybe it be same vessel, same location, but you have another route, another grade, temperatures are different, how all that communication has been done at the beginning. Yes, that really matters in the overall performance. So the vessel performance starts from the day that the vessel is being loaded. Okay, how the vessel will be loaded, how it will start, all that plays a huge role. How the things was measured on the load port, nobody knows. And when you're missing a specific task of measuring and identifying the quantities that has been loaded, and who is the person that checked and um, see the things, if you don't have any representative, probably yes, the quantities will not be as loaded. Okay, probably the vessel loaded more, but when the vessel come back, it is less. Not through the throat, most probably, but through the wrong measurement and determination of the quantity. There is a lot of things, yes, that affects the quantities, and as I tell, yes, it starts from the loading operation. It starts also through the entire voyage, and also it's very important, yes, the monitoring of the voyage. So the temperatures, the IG pressure, the level of water, any wax drop, let's say from the crude. So there's a lot of parameters that you are able to watch in. And if you have any heating instructions, that's really important. Most of the things that are happening, it is through these stages. And also, is there any expediter, let's say, um, attending to the discharge operation in order to help if there is, let's say, water for the dewatering and all the things? Does the expediter will take part of the discharge operation, or he will just supervise, let's say, the dewatering and then off? Okay, all the things plays a huge role. And if the person is not there, if, let's say, there is some things that are made to reduce, let's say, the expenses, as it happens in most of the companies, then the vessel stays more, it delays more, and the money that you will be paid, let's say, for an expediter or a surveyor, it is being lost through the demurrage. That's why it's so much important, the planning. It's so much important, and you can for sure save millions. We are talking about millions. Okay. That's it, my dear friends. Now you know all the factors that are contributing to the delay of the vessel. Thank you, and see you on the MOC membership or on the MOC talks through the membership or through the free content that is available on this channel. Thank you, and I see you soon. Bye bye from Mihail.